myself that fucking picture of Teddy with the Hawaiian shirt on. Well done.
Dude, the Hawaiian shirt is a fucking brilliant buy. So we're all going camping next weekend. There's like, well, basically, I don't know how it came about, right? But a friend of ours over here found, it's basically a wedding venue, right? It's where people go up into the country to have like country weddings, like a barn wedding.
Yeah.
And, it's the dopest Airbnb you have ever seen. Like, it's got 2 cabins for people to be in, and I think it has like mini kitchen and shit in there. There's a hot tub. There's 10 glamping yurts. That's what I'm gonna be staying in.
They're brilliant crack.
Endless people can fucking come and camp.
Yeah.
No idea what deal with Corona regulations is over here officially. Like, so
No.
we're just gonna keep it. They're just gonna have to go for it and see what happens. But after being cooped up for so long, the idea of getting away out, doing camping, going fucking bonkers, making cocktails, getting into a lake, like, it's
just going for a dander, you know, that kind of shit. Just the simple things.
Exactly, because even the fucking like hiking trails and all closed down over here because they're so busy.
Yeah.
People be touching things and all, like, so just the virus would just be living in those places. But yeah, that's gonna be insane. And getting, yes, fucking hell, just fucking hit a joint again. So I bought myself the Trident. Have you ever seen the raw Trident?
I saw the image you put up earlier. I was sitting there going like, well done. It's just like, it's
Dude.
an absolute...
Yeah, you see, the thing is, it's like, I kind of just got it as like a party
Novelty.
thing to do, like, next weekend, like, see who the fucking big stoners are. But got it last night, roll 3 straight away, straight into it, like, and like, I love it. I might never just smoke one joint again. Like, it's fucking madness. I don't know. It's just, it works for me. It's working for me. I'm enjoying it. Like, and rolling the 3, putting them in it. Like, you know, I'm still finishing it. Like, at the moment, like, that was last night, and still managed to pass out through most of F is for Family last night. Like, so.
I need to check it out. I've reserved it.
Fabulous. Like, I'm about halfway through it, like, and it's great. And it's like,
yesterday I went online and was like, right, F is for Family was out. The new Joe Rogan with Bill Burr was on it. And there's a new film now with Bill Burr as well, all landing the same day. So I was just like, holy fuck, there's a lot of Bill to go through. Like,
all Bill, all the time. And he says that's it. He says he's not doing anything else now. I had him on Joe Rogan yesterday, like, and they had good crack. I was only maybe heard the first hour of it, but like, Joe was just like,
I watched the first hour and a half.
Not to shame, because I've got some nice ones. And it's just like, oh, my fucking friends ever just come around with nice cigars, like.
I know. Only.
Getting back to what I was trying to say is, with the Ted man, right, the dog, there was also a straw hat trilby, right? So he would look like a fucking hipster at a festival. It'd be hilarious to get them together, but he will not entertain the idea of wearing a hat. So maybe what we've got to do someday is put him in his Hawaiian shirt, go to pet store, put the thing on, get the photo for the gram, stunt it for the gram, and get the fuck out. So talk myself into that. That's the best way to do that. But yeah, fucking, it was a very big day yesterday for Bill Burr. Like, and apparently it was his birthday on Thursday there.
It was his birthday, and then he had a second child or something as well, and
he had a kid within the last couple of weeks too. That's right. Fucking man was flat out.
I know, fair play to them, because he mentioned in the Rogan one that he's going to be doing a few. Was it the Troubadour? So he wants to do a few free shows down there at some venues just to help them raise some more money during what's been going on. Like,
that's awesome. Imagine getting to see a free Bill Burr show. That'd be pretty fun. Sweet.
I know.
Have you ever seen him before? You saw him in Dublin, did you? No, that was your. That's your thing. That's your sister's fucking wedding. Oh, man. Come on.
That annoyed me, but I actually had to finally edited her wedding video 2 years later for her anniversary the other day. And even when editing it, I was sitting there going, like, when I was like, while I'm watching this footage, I'm like, I should have been somewhere else. It's just like, what? It is what it is. Like,
Bill was coming on stage, and when he's probably the best joke in about 20 minutes in.
Heartbreaking. But then again, like, it's not like, oh, that's it. Apparently, he's been back and forth to Ireland a few times, so it just means as soon as he comes, like, I've got money stashed aside for. Well, I got refund money from a few gigs that we went through last time that I got money back for, so that's basically money sitting there. So if someone else comes back out, it's just like, no excuses.
Oh, right. So to pick up on from what we were talking about last time.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of your recommendations recently that I haven't had a chance to get around to.
Hmm.
That band Horizon, didn't get around to them.
Yeah.
What was the crazy Limp Bizkit weirdo album that you found? What was that
Not
called?
was it Nanowar or something? I sat there one night and I was just like, it was the entire track was made out of like coughs, sneezes, and yawns. I was like, I've never heard anything like this and done well. But the band themselves have made all these spoof albums, and there's a track called Uranus, and it's just every joke you can think of about the planet and everything. And it's just stupid shit, but the riffs are really good. So you're kind of just like, I can't dismiss them, but they're it's just something different. It's one of those best things about Spotify. Sometimes you get a random band, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Like I
But
would
Limp
never,
Bizkit,
ever even think about paying for this. Like, yeah,
oh no. The Limp Bizkit image straight away, it's like, right, okay, what the fuck is this? And it worked. Sure, when I shared the image, they actually dropped the message saying like, fucking thanks for enjoying kind of thing. I was like, right,
thanks for
lads, usually
making
just
it,
waiting for people.
lads.
Yeah, it's nice, like, but
I was
definitely strange.
I listened to and gave it my full attention, or as much attention as I could possibly muster. Like the last track on the Tool album, which is the 15-minute, it's called Tempest.
Oh, it
So,
was. That was so
yeah,
after Tempest.
so I'm thinking like not a definitely by no stretch of the imagination a bad song, right?
No,
But just again a little bit indicative of the whole album in that just like great, solid, good Tool music, but like
yeah.
nothing new. They didn't bring anything fucking brand new on this album, did they? Or am I? Because
True,
again,
but
I haven't really digested it so well because I'm not grabbed by it. It doesn't like kick.
I have to take a different approach to it because instead of comparing it to other Tool music, I'm comparing it to say like, do you remember like because of the stretch of time between the last album, 10,000 Days, and this album, you're sitting there going, right, I compare it to things like Chinese Democracy that took 15 years to come out. Hardwired Self-Destruct took like 8 years to come out. So I compared to things like that. It's just something going, I have to compare it to those kind of albums where I'm just like, right, they took a long time to come out, or they worth the wait kind of thing. I have to put them in a separate kind of category altogether because one of the best comments, and it kind of sums it up about the new Tool album. I remember JP listening to Numa, and straight away, in like a minute into it, he's just like, I've been here before. It's just like, it's the exact same vibe from where we left off. So
yeah,
there is those wee moments like,
yeah, but there's a couple of big riffs in that tune, and it's just like, oh, maybe this is worth the price of admission. Like that's so good for them. But we said we were going to come down here today, and we were going to fucking talk about what just has to be one of the worst fucking movies I have ever seen, man. It just fucking upsets me what they have done, because that's 2 in a row, right? The movie is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Is that what it's called?
I think it is, King of the Monsters, yeah.
Yeah, and it's by Legendary Pictures, like, who should know better. Like, let's just fucking face it. They should know better. Because they copied up the last one. The last Godzilla was, like, all trailer. Like, they fucking spunked their load in the trailer and gave away that whole fucking jump sequence, which was...
Yeah, the jump sequence was the best.
Mind blower. But, like, ruined in the trailer. And then the movie was, like, 2.5 hours of following what's his face around Aaron fucking
Kick-Ass, yeah,
Kick-Ass, exactly. Following around Kick-Ass and the Scarlet Witch, and like Bryan Cranston dies 45 minutes in, and
I was in my head like, I thought it was gonna be Bryan Cranston versus Godzilla at the end of it. I was like, come on, give me something for a crack.
Yeah, that would have been great, man. That one really disappointed me, but like that was nothing then on this new one.
As bad as the first one was, right? I went to see the first one in the cinema, and all the great stuff was it was even better seeing it in the cinema because of the noise.
Easily makes that, yeah.
So I have a wee charm for it because at the cinema, it just was like when I went to see Godzilla, I was going for the crack. I wasn't going for any skepticism. But I'm dying to hear more about the second one because I never turned it off. I sat through the whole thing. And
I can't believe that.
What really annoyed Dónal? So give me a shout.
Well, like. So everything that I've just said about the first one is just proper fucked up, and just made a boring movie with Godzilla's name on it. And it's just like, right, okay, that seems like it probably would have been easier to not fuck up. Like, honestly, it seems like you made life hard for yourselves here by trying to be fucking brainiac about it all. Like, just get that fucking lizard wrecking stuff. But the second one then, like, it just was horrendous. I couldn't believe somebody wrote the script. Some of the moments in it, like just little moments where you're just like, how the fuck am I supposed to? I know it's a movie about like a giant fucking nuclear lizard, but at the same
No. It's a
time,
movie about 18 of them or 17 of them, isn't it? It's
yeah, there's a fucking bunch of them in this one, but like try and have your own internal logic movie. Like I'm suspending disbelief with the nuclear lizard, okay, and the giant moth, but like it's just so terrible. And then the opening sequence where it's like a terrorist attack on a base, and they fucking regenerate whichever one of the monsters it is, Mothra or whoever, and like
I have to give them props because they used fucking what do you call him, Lannister, the Game of Thrones, fucking
Charles
Tywin, fucking
as
soon as I saw him, I was like,
on the top of every fucking movie that ever needs a villain's list. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, it's good casting, but it's not exactly in fucking inspired. Like, you know what I mean? And then Millie Bobby Brown, that's fucking stunt casting as well, because she's shit hot at the minute. And the opening sequence, like, it just really bothered me because, like, the whole way through, the relationship between the Ma and Millie Bobby Brown just made me want to fucking kill myself. Like,
I couldn't understand. They kept flipping shit around every 20 minutes. I was like, "Whoa, am I supposed to like these people?"
Was the Ma a bad guy? Was the Ma a villain? Or like, did I imagine?
That's the thing. She turned on them because she was told that they were going to even the plane out and release them one by one and blah blah blah. And then that didn't happen because the one that they released started almost like the fucking Indominus Rex thing. Once it got out, it controlled all the other ones then. So they weren't coming out in sequence.
Don't get me started on that fucking Jurassic Park sequels. We don't have enough time. We got to focus. So then, one thing that really, really, really intensely bothered me in Godzilla King of the Monsters was whichever one of the Baldwins that is. Obviously not one of the more famous ones. Like, well, he was terrible throughout. But there was a moment where, and look, it has been a while, and I have not been trying to remember, but
no, I think you've kind of repressed it.
They're in, like, I want to say they're in a submarine or an undersea base.
I know what you're talking.
You know what I'm going to say, right? Yeah, Godzilla swims up and like makes meaningful eye contact with the Baldwin, whichever fucking Baldwin brother it is. And it's just like, this is like literally impossible. Like, even if this giant nuclear fucking lizard was real, which we're fully willing to go with here. And I'll also say that I was ready to drink the Kool-Aid on this movie big time because Godzilla was shite, right? Godzilla 2014, terrible. Actually worse than 1988. If that, like, 1988 is Citizen Kane compared to 2014 Godzilla.
Oh, jeez, no, I'm not giving. I can't give props to Matthew Broderick. I can't stand him.
But man, I can for having Jamiroquai on the soundtrack. That was fucking inspired.
And was it P. Diddy and fucking Jimmy Page doing like Kashmir version or something as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that was fun.
I'll give them props for that. But
I think there's maybe more on there that I can't think of right now. But like all the videos for each of those tunes all had like Godzilla in it.
Yeah,
I think it was like all Godzilla all the time, not somewhere in the country. But what I was going to say is I was fully ready to drink the fucking Kool-Aid on Godzilla King of the Monsters because I was such a huge fan of Kong Skull Island, which has a bunch of the same fucking problems as Godzilla King of the Monsters, but like just handled it with a little bit more charm. It was just like, look, here's a bunch of characters that are just like basic sketches. She's the woman, he's the scientist, they're the savages, that's it.
That's the monkey.
They'll all get, that's the monkey. They'll all get killed. There's a bunch of monsters in there as well.
That's Samuel Jackson. It's just like easy done.
Like they had, the moving it back, setting it in Vietnam, all the Vietnam music, how it had the fucking just all these Vietnam tropes, and then how Godzilla or fucking Kong finally appeared out of the sun.
Yeah,
like, that shot.
Yeah.
Whole sequence. And what's the song as they're riding in the helicopters? It's Paranoid, for fuck's sake. Like, come on, baby. They're fucking riding in two Black Sabbath in fucking Vietnam helicopters to fight King Kong, and the first fight is epic because he just ends so many of the humans, including that one annoying actor from fucking Boardwalk Empire who shows up in everything these days. I'll never ever know or learn his name, and I don't want to.
No, I don't want it. That show started off so well. Then season 2, I just gave up. I couldn't follow anymore.
It was a fucking weird one. Whenever they brought Charlie Cox in, and it was like, I'm
And Michael
fucking
Shannon
Northern
going
Ireland,
mad.
I am. And it's just like, what did you just do? What was that, bro? And he was coming over to make fucking pipe bombs for Steve Buscemi. And it's just like, that's racist. That is fucking racist. Historically accurate, but fucking very racist. Like,
Here, I got more annoyed. The only thing that really annoyed me in the film more was the Graham Hancock must crack up the underground fucking city with all the fucking Godzilla monuments and all the shit. I was like,
what?
Get away with too OTT.
Oh, I've definitely repressed that bit.
Where they dropped the nuke. They dropped the nuke in the wake fucking Godzilla.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah. He was down there for fucking ages. Oh, that was nearly as bad as the bit with the giant sea monster in Aquaman. Oh, fuck, we are going to talk shit on some movies here today. Like, right, hold on. Let me dial back a step here and try and wrap up. Kong Skull Island, fabulous movie. Was a cool blend of influences. Had some fucking Black Sabbath music in it. And did everything. So I was going to I was ready to fucking love Godzilla King of the Monsters because I've seen the cast.
Yeah, you were setting up. You were hoping, like, if this is this fucking...
Well, I know also that they're going to cross over because Hollywood, like, so they're going to
Well, they mentioned Skull Island in Godzilla a few times.
Yeah, really terribly. Cack-handed. That's how I would describe the writing in that movie. But Kong, great. And then Godzilla, just terrible. Like, the special effects were brutal, I thought, like, real bad. People, like... just like how the people were reacting to the things. It was just like you couldn't even see the top King Ghidorah. What are you doing?
Yeah,
bro?
There's no scale in it, and
no, not at all. Dumb. And then fucking what made me turn off. Right, there was the one human guy that was never in the action. He was always in the submarine or whatever. Old guy, white hair, glasses. Right. So.
Yes. He looks like
Bobby Brown gets. The fucking, what is the device? It's like an acoustic thing that brings the monsters because it mimics
they set it at a frequency and then it's basically the alpha then, and the whole thing is that it's actually one of their voices mixed in with Godzilla's voice.
It was
too much to remember.
Even by movie standards, like it was pretty poor. But so Millie Bobby Brown breaks away from her bitch betrayer Ma and fucking whichever Baldwin and Charles Dance and everybody. Gets to the baseball park, which I want to say is Wrigley
Fenway Park, I think it wasn't it?
No, only one baseball park.
Yeah.
And then she summons Godzilla and Mothra.
She should have been killed in that scene, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, man, without a shadow of a doubt. But whenever they both converge on the baseball park and wreck it, that old guy back at Submarine Base watching through some sort of, I don't know how, is like, oh, well, bad day to be a Cubs fan. And it's like, dude, giant monsters are ruining the earth. It's a bad day to be fucking anyone right now. And that was it. I was like, I'm done. I was just like, fuck this movie. And do you know what? Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm just realizing now talking about this, like, I will watch Kong versus Godzilla, like, and I am going to get this
in protest of Godzilla
over again.
Kong. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Why can't they just get it right, Maguire? Like, why has nobody fucking just made another Pacific Rim movie? Like, how is it just every so often you just get a Starship Troopers or a Pacific Rim and, like, everyone is just like, oh, well, that just looks like big dumb fun. And it's, like, one of the most mature handling of themes of, like, fascism. And like, Pacific Rim is an environmental movie. What the fuck is
what about a crossover?
He says it's a movie about respecting the environment because you know how the two pilots have to undergo the fucking Vulcan mind meld to drive the Pacific Rim. I got it.
I know, but you have to explain that. It's just like, really,
but he says it's because that's a metaphor for how we all live in the same machine, aka the Earth, and we gotta fucking work together. And it's just like nobody ever had a conversation like that on Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's just like, so, like, what does Godzilla mean? I was like, Godzilla is 1950s Japan reacting to having 2 nuclear bombs dropped on it, dude. It's like existential fucking fear of radiation, and these movies just can't even respect that a little. I'm not asking them to be like a think piece.
No, but
not like. But
I couldn't understand whenever it's been advertised that there was going to be 17 other monsters. I was like, oh man, that's way too much shit to remember. And because there's no way they're making 17 fucking toys out of this film. No way kids are actually watching that film. So why would you need 17? And to be honest, they showed like this big mammoth for like 3 seconds every so often. I said, give me that. instead of the other things for the crack. I mean, just massive mammoth looking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll watch that.
This movie stunk so bad, no kid would ever want toys of it. Like,
no.
But again, what I think is another point that needs to be made about fucking monster movies these days is that nothing's getting R ratings. Like, they're just all going for, what the fuck is it called over here? Not NC-17, but whatever it is, it's the
PG-13 or
PG-13. That's what it's called.
Basically, yeah. The monsters don't get the rating. It's basically a one-off line from someone going like, "Oh shit," and that gives them the rating. Like,
they're
nothing.
Allowed one fuck under American guidelines. Like, they're allowed one fuck. That's why X-Men First Class. You know, when Logan, they meet him in the bar. He's like, "Fuck." Like,
that's why they got
he said the dirty word.
I know.
You know what?
Like a child, you point at the screen.
Yeah. Do you know what might be the fucking saving grace of fucking genre cinema recently was Logan? Like, how fucking good was Logan?
Did you watch the noir version?
No, I have not seen
it's really good.
Logan or Chrome Mad Max, but I'm aware that they're out there, and I very, very much want to see them. Fucking what a good show! But that guy's a fabulous director. It completely escapes me what else he's directed now, but he's definitely on my radar. And if there's stuff of his that I haven't seen, definitely going to get my ass around to that.
It just, with films like that, it just shows that when you have a strong character, you can put them in any kind of situation. It wasn't just like a rough up fucking superhero movie. It felt more like a Western at times, and it was just like, it just felt like an adult movie, but it just shows the appeal of the characters. You can treat them in that environment. But that's why, again, I went on a full rant the other day with the lads on the other podcast about other comic book movies, so I'll be interested to see how you react to what I said about those, because I don't want to get in the whole thing about my hatred towards comic book films.
To be honest, I could probably have a conversation about hating comic book movies with you at this stage, because for me, as a dyed-in-the-wool fucking comic book fan, the whole first phase of superhero movies for me was just excruciating. Going through all the origin stories again, it's just like I've fucking seen all this. Like, and then in the case of Spider-Man, it's like I've seen this so many times. Please just start the movie while he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, knows what he's at, and then gets a really next level threat that he has to deal with, and maybe has to team up with fucking, I don't know, somebody cool, Deadpool, to sort out, not Black Panther. It was also awful. But superhero movies, why I am fucking turning around on them now is I think the Marvel movies was a fabulous fucking experiment on like having a narrative over 23 or 24 movies, whatever the fuck it is now. Like, that's awesome. I'm so happy to pull that off, but I just don't think anybody's ever going to do it again. And I also worry that you think of the fucking acting, writing, and directing talent that's been wrapped up for 12, 15 years now, and you know, however long this is going to extend for. Like, how many? What I always say when I always talk about Robert Downey Jr. is like, how many kiss bang bangs have we missed out on to have superhero movies as great as they are, even like the bad ones. Age of Ultron, favorite Avengers movie. Batman vs Superman, think it's misunderstood. Like, but I'm fatigued on them. I think they fucking don't. Like, DC can't replicate what Marvel did. And I think it'd be wise probably to stop trying now and take a completely different tack. Like, I don't know what the fuck they could do, but like, I don't know. Try something fucking different, lads. I'm happy that we're going to get to see the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, although I don't know how it's gonna salvage that fucking shit show.
Apparently they're even scheduled reshoots and stuff, and they're trying to get Affleck back in to do certain things, and they're going to do a whole recon of stuff like so. Yeah, I'm like, look, lads, do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything's going to be an improvement on fucking Justice League, because there was wee moments I did like, but you're sitting there going, you're very clear that the tone changes were really obvious. Even the camera work was really obvious between scenes, and you're just like, no, it's just a bad movie, like, overall.
Suicide Squad was dumb as fuck. I can't believe how bad it was.
It's just that problem when you have a thing with so many different people in. I have to give props at times to the Marvel thing, because again, they did the origin things and build everyone together. That's grand, but with Suicide Squad, that was going to feel automatically when you only had like 3 people you probably knew automatically from comics, and everyone else like who the fuck's Slipknot?
Well, you always knew like every single Suicide Squad comic ever.
I guess I'm just ignorant to that comic, you know what I mean? So
he goes like oh, fuck the Suicide Squad, I'm out of here. And they're like, oh, well, this is why it's called the Suicide Squad, the suicide him. And then the rest of the team are like, oh, well, we don't want to be suicided, we'll just go with it. And that happens pretty much every time. So once he heard Slipknot was coming in, it was going to be like, oh, I wonder who they're going to kill off. Like, so, yeah, that was dumb. I haven't seen the Harley Quinn movie, haven't seen the fucking... the kid that turns into a man.
Oh, Kazam. It actually, you know what? It actually was good fun. It was just, it was exactly what I think would be.
Yeah, but I have not seen
definitely
it.
Not. No, there's nothing really forced down your throat. And to be honest, I thought the trailer was going to just spoil everything. And yeah, those moments are in it and they are funny, but there is enough other scenes to kind of keep it going. Like, it's just, it feels like a 90s movie, but from the shot nowadays, it's just odd. It's just, it's refreshing.
Heard a lot of people comparing it to Big, and it was just like, oh,
yeah, actually, yeah, come to think of it, yeah, Big and fucking Jesus, if you want to see the Parent Trap at nearly at times, it's just the way some of the things came out. It's just stupid.
Well, that's cool, but like that's if they try little things like that, like making something a comedy or making something a rom-com or a horror. Somebody, I think, just needs to get their finger out and make a real dark horror. Now, apparently,
what's the Jared Leto one that's coming? Mordecai or something, was it? Or what is it?
Morbius.
Morbius, sorry.
Fucking plasma vampire. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be good, but fuck Jared Leto. I hate him and his band are terrible. So probably won't be watching that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the only thing I ever like to see Jared Leto in is that scene in American Psycho where he collapses his skull in. So
I remember him being
dude. Did I send you this thing about American Psycho like in the last 2 weeks? Fuck, this is genius. Who directed American Psycho? Shit, it escapes me altogether.
No,
whatever.
Man, gun to my head, I wouldn't remember.
No, can't think right now. But somebody, I think they're pretty famous. Anyway, it's not Fincher though, but somebody of that ilk. Anyway, long story short, you remember the Willem Dafoe character that's like following Patrick Bateman around trying to get him for the Jared Leto murder? So apparently the way that they got him to be so fucking weird in that movie was they would take each of his scenes with Christian Bale 3 times, right? Once acting as though he had no idea Bateman was the killer, once he suspected he was the killer, and once he knew but wasn't saying anything. And then apparently they just chopped them all up and there's a little bit of each in there.
I would honestly believe, because I had... There was a part in one of the essays I had to do in university it was film studies mixed with like psychology. So I had to do stuff on like narcissism. So I picked Bateman because he's like the emphasis on narcissism. Like,
great essay, alright. I bet that was a good time.
It was perfect for it, but I had brought up something about those scenes because it is very clear that there's a complete switch in tone from it. And I thought that was the intention anyway. So I'm glad to hear that because it kind of validates that point I made.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's a real cool little fucking tidbit. I was loving that.
Because it's not apparent in the book, that part anyway.
I've got some movies that I'm looking forward to seeing here. I was going to fucking bring up with you. So, some actually, right? I had a bunch. These are like so. I've got a bunch of thoughts here. I had to see which one I need to prioritize. So, as you know, I'm over here in Vancouver now.
Yes.
We have the Rio Cinema, which is like a retro cinema. Excuse
me. Oh, yes. That's where you went to see Mandy and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it has a lot of cool stuff going on, like, and just following their Instagram just like makes you aware of a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't have been otherwise. Like, you just
are they doing screenings now and stuff as well, or
still closed down, unfortunately now?
Yeah,
that's actually one I must look into, because if there's a fund to save it or it needs cash or anything, I would definitely like to donate that, because it's a fucking institution. It's so dope. So
yeah.
Here's the thing as well. Here's the fucking pain point for me. I had a bunch of these movies downloaded, and then my girlfriend needed space on her computer, so wiped out her downloads folder. I was just like, on our internet plan, we can only download like 2 things a month. How dare you? Like,
Jesus,
so,
yeah.
First one you might be aware of, I'm not sure. Come to Daddy with Elijah Wood.
No, haven't seen this yet. Worth it?
So, I maybe mentioned this to you before because I had it downloaded and I started to watch it, but I'd never watched the trailer for it. So a week or 2 ago, a friend of mine was over and we just had a real trailer session. Just got everything that's coming out. Dude, this Come to Daddy thing looks so fucked up.
Wait a minute. I think I might have actually saved this. Is it the thumbnail's got the weird like beak looking fucking thing? Is it?
Don't
There's
think
some
so.
weird film I
Think so.
saved the other day. Bring me up to speed with this one.
So Conor Daly, I don't know, but like it looks like Elijah Wood has grown up with a single mom, and then eventually his estranged father gets back in touch. But the father must be a complete wingnut because it just is like the scurriest sequence of events next, including seeing Elijah Wood like going out to his back shed or whatever, and then finding a trap door, and then he starts to climb down, and then it's just like fucking all like flashing images and screeching violins and shit. Very, very, very good fucking trailer.
It's
Even
just
if the
been say it
movie,
sounds all like it's definitely a horror then, yeah.
I think it definitely is psychological horror. It just
Oh,
looks nuts. It just looks like one of these little indies that is just like able to do things that like a studio picture just can't, and it's just going to be fucked up and gnarly. And I'm fucking real excited to see that
I'll
one.
be up for watching that because since the lockdown's been going on, every night or two we've been watching a load of films and we've wrote out like everything we've watched and tried to mark them out of 5 and everything just to go through them all. So one of the recent ones we stuck on was Deep Impact because we hadn't seen it in fucking years.
Oh, the Noah
Um,
Megadeth asteroid movie.
yeah, because that was around the time I was doing that list of films, and I put Armageddon on the list for I think it's overrated. I think it's boring because I've always liked Deep Impact. So I went back and rewatched it. I was like, thank fuck I rewatched this. This is a pimp ass movie. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I think I only saw
It's
Deep
so good.
Impact once, but like I've seen Armageddon a handful of times. Like it's very, very, very
Man,
memorable.
if
Like
you just watch it for Morgan Freeman, it is so fucking brilliant. There's moments where he is sitting there talking to the reporter, and whenever she's trying to make out as if she knows what's going on, and he's trying to deflect it, and she turns around and he goes, "I'll give you the first answer or the first question at the press conference and all," and she's trying to say something. She goes, "I want," and as soon as she says "want," he just cuts her. Goes "want," just stares her down, and it's just. But
uh,
the whole way through the film, he's obviously the president, so he's trying to update them on what's going on with the asteroids and everything. And every single time he has to come on camera, he's getting less and less suave. By the end of it, he's got the rolled up jumper, and he's just like, "Lads, I fucked up." It's just like there's nothing more I can do. It's
see,
such a good film, but
correct me if I'm wrong. The asteroid hits in Deep Impact.
that's what I said. That was my comment about Armageddon. At least Deep Impact had the balls to let the asteroid hit.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
No, Armageddon. What is it? Ben Affleck draws the short straw, goes out to do the job, and
it's
then
just a
fucking
music
misses. Like,
video. They spend
yeah.
more time. They spend more time on Ben Affleck with the animal cookies than to do anything else. It's
Oh
fucking
my.
stuff.
Well, one of my favorite stories from movie sets, like, it comes from
Mhm.
Armageddon. Apparently, Ben, you know
Yeah,
this one. I'm sure I told you this before, but
go
like,
for it. But yeah,
yeah, it's worth repeating every single
oh
chance you
yeah,
get to. Like when Ben Affleck asked Michael Bay on set, would it not be easier to just train astronauts how to drill, and he just clocks him like, oh my
it
god,
it's on the
fucking
DVD commentary.
peak
Yeah,
Michael Bay.
it's on the DVD commentary. He brings it up again that's where it came from. He mentioned it in the commentary track that he asked him. He goes, "Would this not be easier?" And apparently, most of the rest of the track is just them just going like, "See, it would have been so much easier if we just sent." So
That
I might
sounds
get the DVD
hilarious.
just to hear that, but.
Yeah, the DVD's bound to be 99p or less on
Mm.
Amazon right now. Like, definitely.
Oh God,
Uh,
yes.
so I'm looking at a movie as well that came to the Rio that I fucking missed. See, everything. Some things only come once.
Yeah.
Things that come and sell out usually get a second run, and then maybe if they're really, really popular, like Mandy was, they get a third go. Then maybe a month later.
Yeah.
But this is a movie called Climax, and now I can't tell you anybody that's involved with it or the directors or anything, but
Okay.
it's like, have you ever seen an old Italian horror movie called Suspiria?
Suspiria. No.
Suspiria
Like
is like the most talked about movie from like a weird period in Italian horror movies from the 70s called the Giallos or something. I'm not sure what the word is, to be honest. But Suspiria I've seen, and it's pretty good, and it's like less about like the story and more about the fact that it was like real pioneer in use of light and sound to just make a
oh,
really scary
nice.
atmosphere. And that's kind of what Climax looks to be doing. So it seems to be way more about vibe than story, and it's about young people all going to. It's like a modern ballet, but also kind of urban hip hop like dance school, and it's like from the way it's
Right.
trailer, it's obviously like the pristine, like the best one in the world, and it's like, oh, got a lot like very grandiose. But then it's like one night, I think what happens is they just all have a party, and then you see like strips of acid dissolving in these shot glasses and all. Like, you have no idea if these guys are taking this voluntarily or not. Like, and then from there it just gets more and more nightmarish as the trailer moves on, and it's just like, because they're all dancers and they're all contorted up in all these weird shapes, and you're just like, you have no idea what's going on. Like, if you think the trailer for Come to Daddy is unsettling, like, this is proper horror. Like, this is fucking spooky. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of comic relief in Climax, but I'm very, very excited to watch it because it looks genius. And
it sounds like is this the trailer as well? I think I've seen where there's like something goes wrong at the party and they're all trying to hide and get out, and there's people dressed up as fucking like in Halloween outfits and shit. Or is this a different film? Because there's something
seems to be
really, like last year was like that.
Like the take drugs and the horror all
right
or something. So can't quite put my finger on what way it's gonna go. But like, that's just super exciting about a horror. Like, I'm dying to see that. Then one that I have actually tried to watch. I watched the start of, and it is nuts. Is the Lighthouse, Robert Pattinson.
I haven't. Do you know what it is? Everyone's been talking about it, and whenever
it's everywhere. It's such a meme.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there going like, do you know what? It's one of those films where you think going into it, I need to be in a certain mood, I need to set time aside and watch it. But I bet you it's not like that at all. I can just sit down at any point and watch it. But see, I picked up a few DVDs.
I'll tell you what happened when I tried to watch it. I tried to watch it. It was too late to have put it on. It was a school night, work night, like.
Bad night.
Already baked, so I was like, "Fuck it, I gotta try it because I really, really want to see this." Like, and
perfect night. You've got fuck all time, so stick on a black and white fucking slow mass movie, like, and just with William Dafoe and fucking Robert Pattinson. So
yeah, so it's not even filmed in fucking widescreen, dude. It's like got the rounded corners and all of an old like 35 or 35, like a really, really old camera. Like, it was actually filmed in fucking 1800 or whenever the movie's set. Yeah. And like the whole thing with Pattinson fucking murdering the seagull, like that all happens within the first like 5 minutes. And
so I'm seeing random shots of it, so I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, but it's like real grainy and fucked up, and you don't know what's going on. So like the foe is in charge, and Pattinson is just like doesn't want to be there, but he's stuck there, like literally just stuck. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And like, so I'm falling asleep and waking up, and every time I wake up, man, there's just a worse, more horrific vision on the screen. And then at some time, I see tentacles coming across, and I was just, it's obviously a very, very fucked up movie, and I'm definitely psyched to watch the end of it. But I think I might get company. I think I might get company to help me watch it. Like, just help each other stay awake, and remind each other it's not real. I think that's gonna be.
Is it just a vibe with it? Is it?
Dude, it's such a vibe, right? Because every like 3-4 seconds in the background, you just hear like a ship's foghorn. I mean, the whole way through, unrelenting, just non-stop. Every couple of seconds, it's like, but it's obviously meant to make you feel like you live in the fucking lighthouse.
Yeah.
You hear this shit all day, and you're starting to go nuts. But fuck, it looks like a good one. I never saw that guy's other movie. Apparently, he directed The Witch with 2 V's.
No, never. No.
I'll give you the setup for it because it's definitely on my radar. Also, it's a horror movie set in like 1500s, or well, maybe actually later than that. Let's just say 1700s America, and it's like an Amish family that don't believe in fucking technology or whatever. And apparently, the whole way through, you don't know if there's a witch outside terrorizing them or they're just scared because of their crazy.
Oh, right.
So apparently, it's just like,
what's it called?
Real dark psychological horror. It's called The Witch, but it's like sometimes you see it styled up as VV instead of W.
Right.
I don't know where that comes from. I think that's like a Nordic thing, but.
Right.
There was a band. Do you remember there was a band called Ancient Wisdom, and they were like acoustic black metal or some fucking craziness, occult metal. They came out at the same time as like Uncle Acid and fucking Cadaver, and everyone was like, "Oh, retro rock revival." It's just like, stop trying to label things. Like, just let cool bands come out, be all right, and like, if you have to throw an old tour together, then we can stick a label on that. But like the genre or whatever doesn't need. The moment doesn't need to be labeled. Like, it just can happen, and it can be as cool as it's going to be or not going to be, with or without a fucking label on it. And then 2 years time, when we're looking back at it, maybe we'll label it so that we'll have something to call it. But when we're in the I can't even put a label really on Uncle Acid, because if you look at half their albums, there's like
the sound is similar, but they keep changing the vibe every so often as well. But it's still reminiscent of the first couple albums. So just like, so is that stoner rock? Is that psych rock? Is that what? So just like, look, it's fucking class. Whatever it is, I'm leaving it at that.
Like them, and you know who is a fucking interesting band that I'm not like super into yet, but like I think deserve more of my time is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
King Gizzard. You always find some of the best fucking names.
Dude, but King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard like are proper famous now. Like, I mean, it's not like an underground band. Like I'm talking about. They put out like 4 albums a year, dude. They just churn out fucking music, right?
Is that why I'm following on Instagram actually? Because the name King Lizard's very familiar.
One of their more recent efforts was a thrash metal album, and I gave it a spin once, and it was great. I just never got back to it. But the way in, if you want to get a way into them, I think maybe Rattlesnake is their best tune.
Sweet. I'll write that down as well. Just
got a shitload of albums, like, so you'd be on that one for a while. I wouldn't expect that the next time we're podcasting you'd heard it all. You'd be like, fuck.
T-shirt, the whole lot ready to go, like.
Yeah, fucking poster up there behind you on the wall.
Tattoo, everything ready. Across the fucking
tattoo booked in, phone background, Uncle Acid, who? All about the King Gizzard. It's in my notes here as well to talk music, but I'm trying to think. Actually, I have one more film for you. I'm sure I got on to you about this at the time, so I was very excited about this. It never came out. It never came to the Rio. It never hit streaming services or anything. But I just managed to get a download of it. Thank you, Pirate Bay. And now it's gone, obviously. So that's
rest.
But it stars Sam Elliott, and it's called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot, and it looks fucking incredible.
Have you seen it yet?
Incredible. No, have you?
Oh, I've seen it yet. It's on Netflix at the minute.
Is it? Oh, it's not on over here.
Bastards! Man, I saw that poster about 2 years ago, and I was like, Sam Elliott versus Hitler versus Bigfoot. I was like, I'm in. You know what I mean?
Sam Elliott, I'm in. Like,
yeah. I don't.
Hitler and the Bigfoot. Like,
I was
already on board.
As mad as it is, there's moments where it brings you in, and you're sitting there going like, "Oh my god, I could believe this dude did it." But you're just like, it's. I'll give you one bit of firm warning going into it. As mad as the title is, it does what it says, but it's a character study. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a character study, but again, the character that they're studying is Sam Elliott. So you're fucking sad.
Yeah, like I sort of don't care what type of movie it is because actually that's more exciting. As long as it's Sam Elliott character driven, because I get that impression from the trailer. It's like this guy killed Hitler, and now they want him to kill the Bigfoot, and he just sort of wants to sit there. He just wants to sit back and be old Sam Elliott and smoke cigarettes and have mustaches. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fucking hell!
And talk through his teeth at you. That's it. Talk through the mustache and the teeth at you. But it's just, do you know what it is? It's definitely something to watch because you get it out of your head and you're sitting there going, do you know what? As long as you don't go in there thinking, well, this is going to be the best fucking mad piece of shit I've ever seen. It's just like, it's a good watch.
Yeah.
Like, let me know. See, whenever you get watched, let me know what you think because there's a couple of scenes in it where you're just like, that's definitely fucking cool. There's a couple of wee moments, but the whole idea of it is like, it is as simple as that. Literally, he had killed Hitler at one point, and they try and get him in to kill Bigfoot, and you're just like, but how? The idea of putting that idea together is just fucking ridiculous. Like, but it works.
It's bonkers. It's like some of the more like just out there comic books have come out over the last few years. These are things that I've just seen the titles of, but I just haven't been able to get my hands on. There was one called. Oh, what was this? Is it Kung Fu Falcon? He's a falcon and he does Kung Fu. There's a shirtless bear fighter, and he is a shirtless man that fights bears. And man, there's been some fucking cool stuff coming out by Image Comics.
See, you're getting a better idea of some good films. You know the kind of films I get sent from people to check out? It's like Pastor Raptor. Where's this dude who's a pastor turns into a raptor? Yeah, I get all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
See, I don't usually get down and fuck around in like that level of B movie, but like I kind of think it would be really fun. Like I'd like to watch all the Sharknadoes back to back sometime.
I sat there in the last week or two. I kind of had like a moment of just like I need to watch some random shit, some old random shit again. So I stuck on like Time Cop, Fire Down Below, fucking Loch Ness, and fucking. I'm trying to get Rumble in the Bronx again to watch. And
dude, you need to add Lake Placid into that list by the sounds of it.
No.
No, don't look for Lake Placid.
Shit.
Oh,
wasn't a big fan of it.
too high quality.
No, I'm just too lowbrow for it.
I'm trying to think if I've seen any other good B movies.
Also, Lake Placid, I have a big problem with Lake Placid because do you
go.
remember Video Box and Free?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I used to get in there all the time, and I used to get loads of posters from Cahill that used to work in there. So every time movies were coming out, he had a load of posters and give them to me and stuff. So I had the Lake Placid one long before I saw the film, and just that image of the massive crocodile mouth, I was like, this thing's going to be cool. It was nowhere near as big as it looked on the poster and all, so that's why I just like, nope, bullshit.
Oh, they fuck with the scale, so you're like, well, I do not fuck with you guys.
No, I came in thinking this is going to be insane looking, but I was like, oh god, right, fair enough.
I wonder whether there going to be any more good monster movies coming out soon. Oh, I tell you what's got a dope trailer. Oh, the Ghostbusters sequel. Holy shit.
Man, Afterlife. Yeah, oh my god, it looks tight.
It looks like they were like, okay, so people hated the female Ghostbusters. And,
no, not even that. Do you know what it just looks like? They actually talk to fans.
Yeah, well, the director is the original director's son.
Reitman's son, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Reitman. Jason Reitman.
That's the one, yes.
And,
but Ivan Reitman's still producing it.
Before? Can we see what he's like? Or
I think he's only made one or something, is it not?
Let's
so this might be
his
like upper debut.
I don't know why I'll never just look stuff up while I'm doing this.
I know, but I never thought to bring up Afterlife. But I'm sitting there going like, oh man, even just like simple wee things like they even like have the moment of like the camera pan and you see all the molds and spores that things been collected over the years. That's like from one line from the first one or something. Yeah, it's wee things like that.
He directed Juno.
Juno? Oh,
he was nominated for an Oscar for it.
I put Juno on my list. I didn't like Juno.
I'd never seen it. Like, I just don't. I would like a coming of age girl being pregnant with Michael Cera. Like, there's nothing in that movie for me. Like, you know what I mean?
There's nothing for me either. But
all that's going to be blown up. There's going to be no proton packs, and there's probably very few dinosaurs. So
yeah, it's not interesting.
Let's see if I can see. Reitman has directed 2 episodes of The Office.
American? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, American Office. Okay. Well, certainly haven't heard of any of his movies. The last one he made is called Young Adult.
No.
Never seen it. Don't recognize the people in it.
But I trust him just from the trailer alone. I trust him, and the kid actors that they have in it at the minute are pretty good. I love how the go-to now is just to grab anyone from Stranger Things and put them in it.
Oh, that's the move.
But it works.
That is the fucking move. Oh, what have I done here now? I don't know how to use fucking Skype at all.
I'm waiting to see like the background change in the picture.
Oh no, I've got you. Wait. Oh, that's better. Yeah. Grabbing kids from Stranger Things and throwing them into things. You see how John Boyega was out leading protests during all this Black Lives Matter stuff going on, and he was like, I might not have a job after this, but fuck it. And then all the Star Wars accounts were like, we're behind you, John Boyega. Like, he is going to be the most employable man in Hollywood for the next 3 years. I think.
Oh, yeah. He's a good poster for it.
Good work out of him. He's a fucking talented actor. Like, and the Star Wars movies just didn't give him enough fucking rope, really. Like, I thought at all.
No.
Him and Oscar Isaac's got fuck all to do in them 3 Star Wars movies. Really, like, I mean, Finn kind of big part in the second one, but it's all during that casino bit that absolutely nobody likes. Like,
with the horse racing stuff and all that.
Yeah. So it's fuck. But he will fucking light up some franchise. Like, that will be.
Another point for you.
Actually,
I also went on the fucking Star Wars rant in the middle of the last podcast, like as well. So you have that to review as well.
Oh, I like to hear people giving off about Star Wars now. Maybe it's actually been. I think this happened since the last time I was talking to you, but I finally finished the Clone Wars. And
oh yes, you were picking that up. I was trying to explain that to the lads the other day, that they'll have to listen to your review of the Clone Wars from the last time we were talking, because there's certain things that they brought up that I think you had mentioned were be in those shows. Like, they want to know more about what was going on during that phase of the.
Yeah, well, all I can say about the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars is like, it's the most emotional heft that Star Wars has ever had. Like, all of the fucking the drama, like, of Anakin's fall to the dark side, that's not really served that well in terms of like emotional punch by the prequel movies. Like
No, it was
Revenge of
like
the
paint
Sith.
by numbers. It was by the time the prequels came, it's like, right, we have to do this scene because we mentioned that thing. So do the
Exactly.
scene, and that fulfills it. But it didn't mean anything at that point. Then
No. So whereas now, like moving through the Clone Wars, you're following more often than not Anakin's apprentice, Ahsoka, and she just becomes like the emotional heart of it, and she's like a Jedi
she's the
battle
one that looks like
commander.
she's got dreadlocks and shit, isn't it? Or
Yeah, she's got a bunch of like head stuff going on.
Mm.
I can't remember what her
face
race
paint.
is called. Yeah, weird face markings and stuff. But she's brilliant, man. Like she grows so much as you watch over the 7 seasons, and then it's like kind of heartbreaking. Well, I mean, it's definitely heartbreaking because like a bunch of the Jedi in the show are like, fuck the clones, like just fucking get more clones, like we'll kill the clones, then the clones in, fucking kill the clones, like they're just the worst about it. Like Ahsoka is always looking out for them, always trying to teach them their worth, always being like, you know, this war is actually worth it because I got all these fucking friends, like, and they're all the same guy, all the same voice actor, but she constantly encourages them to be like more individual and all. So then the last
Did they
season,
get
Bill.
did they get Hayden Christensen to do his voice in the Clone Wars
No,
stuff,
it's
or is
not
it some...
Hayden Christensen. I'm not sure who it is, but he's very good, very good. And so with the Clone Wars, it was kind of the first 6 seasons are like there's a lot of shit in there, but they're kind of there's some good stuff in there, like about Mandalore and Darth Maul and stuff. I think it's going to be a bigger player moving forward.
Nice.
But then it's Dave Filoni. So Dave Filoni was in charge of Clone Wars, and then he did Rebels, which is fucking genius. It's so good. Really, really can't recommend that enough. Even though it's for kids.
Is this
like,
when
it's
you were
still...
going through like your Teen Titans phase and everything? You were watching this as well, or?
Oh, I've watched these all within the last few years, like as a full-grown adult. Like they're just such. Dave Filoni just knows what to do with Star Wars. Like he directed the Prison Break episode of Mandalorian.
Oh, nice.
He's one of the X-wing
That was
pilots at
such
the
a
end of
great
that.
episode.
Yeah, so good, and like he is like the creative director or whatever there. So anybody else comes in to do the
Right.
directors, you know how they have like Bryce Dallas Howard and all these guys.
Yeah.
They all go to him like for like fucking continuity and stuff, like because he knows Star Wars
Has
so
he
well.
been there from the start of all this,
He's
or?
been there from the start of Clone Wars, so before even the Disney buyout. So he is a man in the know. So this last fucking 4 episodes like this of Clone Wars is his baby. Like, right, he's gone and done Rebels, so it's even like what happens to Ahsoka
Just
after.
about to say, for a rewind there, this has been going on before the Disney acquisition,
First
or is
6,
this?
yeah, first 6 seasons of Clone Wars came after the Clone Wars movie, which is apparently terrible, which I've never watched.
No, I've never seen it.
And then the Disney buyout happened, and so Dave Filoni made Rebels, and it's so fucking good that I think he probably... I'm just assuming, I don't know the man, obviously.
Yeah.
I suspect that he maybe went to Disney and said, look, this is how I have the last season of Clone Wars mapped out. If you would like me to make that for you, I think this could be really good. And like it's... So at the end of season 6, right, I'm gonna have to do a mild spoiler here for you, but at the end of season 6, Ahsoka walks away from the Jedi faith, because she's wrongly accused of a crime, and they don't take her side, even though she's never ever put a foot wrong. And it's sad, like it is sad, but it's not so bad. Season
It's
7.
just you teared up watching. It's just like,
Dude, oh no, like I'll get to it, like, but it's the last one, so you know. Going into season 7, you're like, right, well, Ahsoka's gonna have to come back here at some point, so she does eventually come back, and then moving into the last 4 episodes, you know, when it comes up like yellow Star Wars at the start, or like pops out on the screen,
yeah.
they're blood red then for the last 4, and you're just like, oh shit, because the whole way through we're basically building into the event of Revenge Sith, so you know that clones and the Jedi are turn on each other before the end of the season. So basically, these characters that you just put fucking 6 seasons in, are all gonna start fucking killing each other, and they're not gonna know why, and it's gonna be fucking brutal. Like, so, dude, it was way more than I needed. Like, so when Ahsoka comes back, her battalion of clones will welcome her back, and they've all painted their fucking helmets with her like facial markings, and you're just like, oh, that's fucking dope. Like, and then.
You all got together and
Then they're all supposed to go into battle together, like her, Obi-Wan, the clones are all supposed to go and take out Darth Maul, but then that shit from the start of Revenge of the Sith happens, and they have to run off. So I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just gonna say, like, I don't want to give any more spoilers than that, but I do want to hype it up, because if anybody's listening to this is thinking about watching it, they should definitely just take the leap on it, because it might be for kids, but that is a fucking grown man show. Like,
and are they all now on Disney Plus? You can check them out, or
yeah, all on Disney Plus, and that last episode, like, it is just fucking hell. It wasn't even a case.
Wonder if the movie as well
on
on
case Maguire of tearing up, right? It was just like a full blown cry. It was just like, holy shit, that is devastating. Like, it's bonkers. And now to think that Dave Filoni is in charge of bringing Ahsoka into live action The Mandalorian next season with Rosario Dawson.
See, I've seen things for that, but I wasn't sure. See, I wasn't sure if that was.
That's good news.
No. Oh, don't doubt that. I just wasn't sure if that was set in stone, or if that was people like fantasy booking for the next season or what. But
to say, because I've heard that much stuff being booked for season 2 of The Mandalorian, that I really, really hope that it's not true and they don't do too much, because I've heard that they're going to bring Boba Fett back, but I've also heard that Timothy Olyphant, who was most recently in, I want to say, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as the lead opposite Leonardo in the Western TV show.
Oh yes, fucking what do you call him? Hitman. Fucking
yes, Hitman. I never saw that show, so I didn't want to use that reference, but he was.
Man's actually pretty good. But again, I wasn't a big fan of the game, but the movie was good crack. Like,
games, I thought always could have been better, but it was a cool idea. Like, talking about him playing this guy, I can never remember the name, but basically what it was in the 70s was they created a different, or 80s, excuse me, they created a different coloured Boba Fett so they could sell a different toy and made up a name for him. So they had to retcon a backstory into the Star Wars universe. So this currently goes into the Sarlacc on Tatooine after the events of Return of the Jedi and pulls out Boba Fett out. And steals armor and impersonates him. So I've heard that both Boba Fett and him are going to come into play, so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully it's only one, because I think bringing Boba Fett back like just completely undercuts Din Djarin, like really, like he's not special anymore then. So they're also going to, I've heard that Rosario Dawson is cast as Ahsoka, and the guy that played Jango Fett in the original movie where he's all the clones is going to come back as Captain Rex.
Cool.
Who's the lone clone from the fucking Clone Wars that you would want to come back, like the one that had enough fucking storylines. And then, like, did I hear that they're maybe going to bring Grand Admiral Thrawn in, who was a character in Rebels? But I can't remember how he fares out in Rebels, because I haven't watched the last season in a while. So I'll get on that and I'll let you know. But that would be dope, because Thrawn, the big blue alien who fucking... It's like the anti-Darth Vader. He's not like a go in there and fucking kill people, fucking smash shit up. Like, he's just like, sit back, let's see what they do. That'll give us clues, and then eventually we'll hit them so hard the once that the Rebels will never come back. And his oh my god, his theme tune in Rebels, the TV show, is this organ piece, and it's fucking class. It needs to be heard again. Like, I know Rebels is over, but it should be heard again. But anyway, good fucking times to be a Star Wars fan. It's been fucking good. Mandalorian, Clone Wars, Rebels have all been sick. Last Jedi, I'm personally a big fan of. Rise of Skywalker left me a bit cold, but on the whole, like, pretty good fucking time to be a Star Wars fan. I hear the games are good as well, but I don't have a PlayStation 4, so I have not.
No, the closest thing to the games come is like Decky's been getting some of the old PS1. He's trying to get some of the old games we used to have on the PS1 again, because they were some cracked. It was like Jedi Knights, I think, was one of the games used to have on PS1 and stuff. He's trying to get some of them back to do some videos for it, because that's as far as my knowledge of the games go. I know there's like is it Battlefront? What do you call those new ones?
PlayStation 2, there was like Battlefront 1 and 2. There was fucking Jango Fett Bounty Hunter game. Well, they went to town on Star Wars on the PlayStation.
JP has a fucking Star Wars fighting game for the PS1 where it's like you can be like Han Solo beating the fuck out of Luke Skywalker. And never played it, but I'm sitting there going like, the idea of the game existing is funny as fuck in my head. Like, but stupid shit.
Anything.
I know, of course, man. Fucking think of it. It's as bad as Kiss. They're the Kiss of the movies.
Definitely worse than Kiss. Like,
But Kiss take the piss with Kiss coffins, fucking everything you can think of, pregnancy test, the whole lot. Just like lads.
Oh, Kiss.
I like some Kiss stuff, but fucking hell, I just don't like.
I don't
There's a
understand
lot of
how
shit.
they're as big as they are. Like, they must have just been the right band at the right time. Like, I think we missed
Oh, yeah.
maybe the historical context there because, like, we have, like, Alice Cooper and Slipknot and shit, and it's just like...
Yeah, we had... But I've always gone back to them because when you hear bands, like, some bands I really like Megadeth and everything, but they always note back people like Kiss, just like, how does this amount to this? But I mean, you go back to earlier stuff, like, earlier tunes like Kiss, like War Machine and everything, and you're sitting there going, like, you can start to hear some of the wee bits, like, right, okay, that makes sense. Whereas immediately when you think of Kiss, you think of like fucking all the OTT pyro fucking crazy nights and shit. You think of all the really obscure shit, the OTT stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, no, my favorite Kiss song has always been Strutter. I just fucking
So it's good shit.
The Grand Theft Auto San Andreas soundtrack, like, it was just like, oh shit, Kiss can be this good, damn. Yeah. But then it's just like they're never that good again. It's like,
no. But I still like
that was the peak.
I still have a wee fondness for things like Licking Up, just because it was in Rockstar, and every time I hear it, it's like a Rockstar.
Great tune, yeah. What's the fuck? There was one from a recent album I was really into.
Modern Day.
Modern Day Delilah is one.
Delilah, yeah.
The one I was going to say, the one that I really liked was called Back to the Stone Age.
I haven't heard that one, no.
Oh, it's good. It's fucking real good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always give them the benefit. I'll always try and see what they've done. Like, but I'm sitting there going, like, as a band for anything I really like. I mean, they're very low on my list for. It's a very rare night where I'm like, do you know what? I'll stick on a wee bit of Kiss or something. It's just like, it just doesn't get there. Like,
go into like a playlist if you're having people over, quite nice.
Oh no, not if people's around.
Black
it's just for me.
And Strutter in there. And then like, maybe a couple of the big ones as well. I Was Made for Loving You always goes down well. Like, everybody likes that fucking song.
Do you know what's bad though? Because I rewatched what was it, Detroit Rock City about a year or so ago, and it's just like I can't watch that film ever again. It's not the same. It's just like, do you know what? Because there's a lot of Kiss in that film. You know what I mean? It's just like there's a lot of naff.
I never saw it. I gotta get into that, and I see that there's I don't know if it's old or new. I'm not sure where I've come across this, but there are crossover Kiss and Scooby-Doo comic books. It's like, what?
There's fucking Scooby-Doo and like WWE. There's Scooby-Doo and everything these days. It's just like, lad, Scooby-Doo's hoarded himself out a lot over the years. And for the last like 50, 60 years, that dog's been about. Like what else can you really do with the dog?
Speaking of comics, apparently there's a Simpsons comic out there where Lionel Hutz represents Troy McClure in court, and it's just like, why the fuck didn't they do that in the show? I know it's the same guy, obviously. Okay,
yeah.
The biggest
Phil Hartman
on the fucking planet, like, but she just went for it. But anyway, we all know how that fucking ended. Dude, I'm gonna have to call it quits here. This was fucking top notch, though.
I know, fucking just get the ball rolling on it. But
I know, get it going. But we compartmentalized today. We talked about movies. Like, it's on here on my list here to talk music, even though like I haven't really been listening to a lot of music.
I'll give you one bit of homework though, just to round up.
Oh, hit me up.
I only got the link earlier on today because this is how bad I've been distracted the last few days getting a few things done for the podcast, because the idea now is to start getting it uploaded onto Spotify. So I've been working away and sorting out a few things for it. But
that's next level.
It is, but I'll fill you in on that in the next few days once I get everything cemented. But
cool.
There was the metal stream thing of the year. Was the Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium, and In Flames thing. It was on last night.
Oh, that's come up on my YouTube today. That looks dope.
It's pretty tight, man. I was looking through it because there's interviews with Randy Blythe, and I can't remember who it was from In Flames, but I got so confused. I stuck it on earlier before we got recording because I thought it was live tonight. So I sat through and didn't realize it was last night, so I could move through it. So there was the Megadeth set from like 4 years ago where they sounded pretty fucking tight. And he actually, sorry, Kiko Loureiro, Kirk. Fuck again, I can't remember his surname.
Oh, Vanderbeek.
Dirk. Sorry, I can never remember it off head. But the set is pretty fucking tight. And he went in his interview and explained that they've got 18 songs for the new album already written, and that includes 2 covers. They've got the bass and drum tracks already done. They're just finishing off guitars, and then he just needs the lyrics. I'm just like, fucking bring it. I'm happy as fuck with that.
beautiful. Don't make them about hating immigrants this time, please.
No,
Please.
I know. Please tone it down a bit, Dave.
Tone
Like,
it down,
calm
please. Not that
I know, but-
anybody's listening to Megadeth for the singing or lyrics. Fucking shred that shit, son.
I know. Happy
That's
with
right.
it.
Hopefully the whole like having and getting over throat cancer thing is just giving him a fucking kick up the arse, and he's just like, I need to make another album like Dystopia. Like there can't be another fucking Super Collider.
I think before Dystopia, his biggest issue was that he was aware of his vocals and they started detuning, which was grand for them. But I think what he focused too much on with his songs was trying to hide the weakness of his voice by doing other things with singing. Whereas he just sort of realized, look, just keep fucking shredding, do less singing parts. Like Wake Up Dead has barely any singing in it. It's just like 6 minutes of mad shit, and then there's like 2 minutes out of that is singing. Do shit like that, and I'll be fucking happy as hell, because it means long run he can play like fuck for an entire show.
Oh yeah,
I've seen it myself multiple times that he does strain during the show. So focus more on that, and then free up his voice for the rest of the show. Like, I mean, or just do some chant parts. Let everyone else sing it for him. Just
works for AC/DC.
But again, this is me trying to tell Dave fucking Mustaine how to write a fucking tune. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
I know, but that you're fucking qualified. You're the world's fucking biggest Megadeth fan. Like, who the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, take that with a pinch of salt at times. Like, but I mean, no, I would definitely, if you get the chance to check out the set, the Lamb of God set on is really good. The Megadeth set's good. The Trivium these days with their live stuff is give or take sometimes with the vocals, but I need to check out just a wee bit more the In Flames set. But
yeah, I'm not.
give it a go.
I wouldn't be too pushed about getting into the Trivium or the In Flames at all. I'll flick through Trivium set to see if they play Strife. But apart from that,
I didn't hear it yet. I was looking for Black or Strife or Rising and a few other tracks, but
what's my other Trivium tune called? Silence in the Snow. I love that one. That's a fucking big tune.
That's off the one, the white album with the fucking mask. I can't remember the name of that one.
That was one of their many rebrands. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's your only homework you got. If you get the chance to check out a bit of that stream, check it out.
Well, that's cool. That's what I'll do. I'm having people over for dinner here tonight, so I have to go and stress out about. Well, look, I did it to myself. My friend in New Zealand was sending me things. He bought himself a smoker, so he had a barbecue yesterday. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to go to town on this now to send you pics to one up you. So I am making bread and butter both from scratch just to serve as an appetizer. So this is the level of dinner that's going on up in here today. So I gotta go check in with the woman, see what she's doing here. I fucking kicked her out of the living room for an hour for this, and then I'm just gonna be cooking for the rest of the day. So fucking great to see you.
Man, handy enough. I've been looking forward to getting the next run of these anyway. But in the meantime, I'll keep you posted what else we got going on, and you'll be seeing this up soon enough.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just thinking, man. I had a good idea for us to fucking like have something that we could get together and do regularly a podcast on, and it's completely escaping me now. It was like, we'll do this and then we'll talk. Yeah. We'll do this separately and then we'll talk about it, or we'll do something over Zoom and just record that. It's gone. It's fucking gone, dude.
If it comes back to mind, send me a message as usual, and I'd be more than happy to do that shit, because I've got a lot of free time at the minute, and I'm making use of it now for doing this shit. So
yeah, you're fucking killing it, man. Red Acre's looking good on YouTube these days.
Thank you. Fucking but plenty more to come, because the one we did with the guys the other night, there's this one, and I've got another one now with Kieran, because what we're going to do is over the next couple of weeks, going to pick 5 albums out of the records each and just talk about them over the next couple of weeks. So plenty more music shit coming your way as well.
Dude, sweet. Well, I'm going to go here for now. Thanks a million, brother. I'll see you in a bit.
Cheers, Buck.